Minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Welcome back to Medical Genome lecture. Today we are going to discuss about the development of tongue. For the development of tongue, first we will discuss about the pharyngeal apparatus because they play important role in the development of tongue. Okay, this is the diagrammatical representation of pharyngeal apparatus. There are 6 pharyngeal arches, but the fifth one is rudimentary in nature. So the all number of pharyngeal arches is 5 in nature. Okay. Now this is the structure of pharyngeal apparatus. So pharyngeal apparatus consist of many parts. So, okay. This is the first pharyngeal arch. This is second. This is third. This is fourth, and this is the sixth. The fifth one is absent. Okay. Now the pharyngeal apparatus consists many parts, so the outer one is called pharyngeal cleft because they are ectodermal in nature. The inner one is called pharyngeal pouch. They are endodermal in nature. The space between this is the pharyngeal pouch, this is the pharyngeal cleft. Okay, they are ectodermal in nature and pouch are endodermal in nature. The space between cleft and pouch is arches, which are mesenchymal in nature. Okay, these 3 parts are called pharyngeal apparatus. Okay, now these pharyngeal arches play important role in the development of tongue. The cleft and pouch not play any role in the development of tongue, but only the pharyngeal arch play important role in the development of tongue. From the first pharyngeal arches, many things are derived, and from the second, third, and fourth, other thing hypobronchial eminence are deriving. Okay, now let's discuss about the derivative of the pharyngeal arches. First of all, we will discuss about the first pharyngeal arches. Okay, from the first pharyngeal arches to this is the first pharyngeal arch. Okay, from the first pharyngeal arch, 2 lingual swelling are producing. This is the lingual swelling. Okay, 1 and 2, these 2 lingual swelling are producing by first pharyngeal arches. This is the 2 lingual swelling. Okay, it also produce another structure called tubercular empire. Okay, 2 lingual swelling and the tubercular empire is also produced by first pharyngeal arch. Below the tubercular empire, another structure is present called foramen cecum. Okay, this is the foramen cecum. This is the 2 lingual swelling, and this is the tubercular empire. These structure play important role in the development of tongue. Okay, the second and third and fourth pharyngeal. This is the second, this is third, and this is fourth. They produce another structure called. This is the another structure which are producing by second, third, and fourth pharyngeal arch. Okay, this structure is called hypobronchial eminence. Okay, this is the hypobronchial eminence. So the hypobronchial eminence consists 2 parts. One is the cranial part, the upper one is cranial part, and the lower one is called caudal part. Okay, the hypobronchial eminence is produced by first, second, and third pharyngeal arches, which consist of 2 parts, cranial parts and caudal part. Okay, this is the 2 lingual swelling and this is the tubercular empire. These 2 lingual swelling and the tubercular combine tubercular empire, they combine with each other and they produce the 2/3 anterior of the tongue. Okay, this is the tubercular empire. This is the 2 lingual swelling and this is the tubercular empire. Okay, they combine with each other and produce the 2/3 anterior of the tongue. Okay, now this is the lingual swelling, this is the tubercular empire. Okay, but the hypobronchial eminence consists of 2 parts. One is the cranial parts, another is the caudal parts. The cranial part is play important role in the posterior 1/3 of the posterior 1/3 of the tongue. Okay, this is the posterior 1/3 of the tongue, which is produced by the hypobronchial eminence, but the cranial part of the hypobronchial eminence. This is the cranial part. Okay, cranial part of the hypobronchial eminence. Okay, this is the two lingual swelling, this is the tubercular empire, this is the hypobronchial eminence. These three structure combinedly produce the structure of tongue. Okay, now this is the two lingual swelling. Okay, this is the two lingual swelling, this is the tubercular empire which produced the two-third anterior of the tongue. The cranial part of the hypobronchial eminence produced the posterior one-third of the tongue. The most posterior part, which is epiglottis in nature, are developed by the fourth pharyngeal arch. The most posterior part of most posterior part, one is the posterior part, this is the anterior two-third part, this is the posterior part, this is the most posterior part. The most posterior part is developed by fourth pharyngeal arch. Okay, fourth pharyngeal arch. Anterior, this is the anterior two-third by first pharyngeal arch, posterior one-third by first, second and third pharyngeal arch, the most posterior by fourth pharyngeal arch. These are the main detail of the development of tongue. Okay, now let's discuss the notes of the development of tongue. Now this is the notes of the development of tongue. Development of tongue, this is the development of tongue occur at fourth week of intrauterine life. Okay, there are fifth pharyngeal arches, out of which there are five pharyngeal or six pharyngeal arches, out of which five is rudimentary in nature. Okay, the two lingual swelling and tubercular empire are developed from the first pharyngeal arch. Okay, the two lingual swelling and the tubercular empire combine with each other and they produce two-third anterior of the tongue. Okay, the second, the third and fourth pharyngeal arch produce hypobronchial eminence. Okay, hypobronchial eminence consists of caudal and cranial part. The cranial part of the hypobronchial eminence produce one-third of the tongue, posterior one-third of the tongue. The most posterior part is produced by the fourth pharyngeal arch. Occipital somite produce the muscle of the tongue. Okay,